Good morning. Hello. It's 7:33 a.m. in the morning. Our plan today is to start a 24-hour readathon. What I mean by this is I'm gonna try and do 12 hours today and tomorrow. This morning, I set my alarm for 2 a.m. to try and get up and start a whole entire 24-hour readathon, and I fell back asleep. And then I set my alarm for 4 a.m. to try and do it at 5, and then I set my alarm for 7. And now we're here. So today we're gonna go from 7 or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That is my goal because I want to get through some of my TBR and some of my physical TBR. And today is the perfect reading weather, and tomorrow is too because it's rainy all day. I'm gonna go through my TBR that I have with me for this readathon. Here's my stack of books that I would love to get to. I'm definitely not gonna get to all of them. The first book we're going to start, I know 100%, is Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I read the first chapter of this last night because I wanted to see if I would be into it for this readathon. I already was like giggling. It was so funny. I already felt the vibes. I was like, I can feel the 5-star, and I've only read 10 pages. We're definitely starting with this today. The Trouble with Hating You by Sanjit Patel. This is a book I've had on my physical TBR for a while. It's a book that my sister bought a while back. After she reads what she wants of it, she dumped it in my room, which is fine because I love her for doing that. I get all of her extra books. Just over 300 pages. So I thought it'd be a perfect one to try and grab during the readathon. Next is the next book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. This is Barbarian's Touch by Ruby Dixon. It's the last book that is out in these special edition covers. Pre-ordered the next one, which I think comes out soon, like within the month. I'm trying to keep updated on the series so that when a new special edition comes out, I read it. They're just mindless and fun, and you can just binge them. So I'm excited to get to this during the readathon. We have 2 books that are on my physical TBR for May. The first one being Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the second book in the Rebel Blue series by Lila Sage, the first book being Done and Dusted. We also have Powerful by Lauren Roberts. This is the novella that comes after Powerless, which is a book that I read at the end of last year, I think, or maybe it was at the beginning of this year. This is 245 pages, so again, pretty short. If you can see a theme, I'm trying to get through books that are shorter on my TBR. My brother's taking a shower, so you're probably gonna be able to hear that. But we only have 2 more books to go through. Next is The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. This is an audiobook that I have. The audiobook is only 6 hours, but it's about 250 pages. This is Britney Spears' memoir. And then the last book I have is The Nature of Disappearing by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. This is a thriller that I got as an ARC because of a Goodreads giveaway. It's like 200-ish, maybe 300 pages. I thought it would be nice to throw a thriller on this TBR, whether I get to it or not. Those are all the books that I'm thinking about getting to for this readathon. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start Butcher and Blackbird as soon as I put these back. We're gonna start our 12-hour timer and get started with reading. Echo, set a timer for 12 hours.
12 hours, starting now.
12 hours starting now. Ugh, I forgot where I left off in this book. It's already so good. I'm 100 pages through Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. It is so good. So good. I'm low-key thinking 5-star. I'm loving this book. I just pre-ordered the next one too, but I'm gonna keep going. Hey girl, literally haven't moved spots. Actually I have, but the reason being is I went to Panera for lunch with my dad, so I paused the timer just because I knew I wasn't going to be able to read. About to restart, just read for the rest of the day. Unpause the timer.
Your 12-hour timer resumed on Reagan's room with about 9 hours and 38 minutes left.
We have 9 hours and 38 minutes left in the timer. I'm on page 136 and I'm still loving it a lot. So finished butchering Blackbird by Bryn Weaver.
You have 5 hours and 50 minutes left on your 12-hour timer.
So I completed it in about 6 hours and 10 minutes. I'm gonna save all my reviews for the end so I can think about them a little bit more, but that's the first book of the readathon. I'm gonna go have a snack, then maybe decide my next book. I'm kind of leaning towards The Woman in Me by Britney Spears because I kind of want to do my nails while I listen to this audiobook. I finished The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. I also finished my nails. I just did chrome. I actually don't love them. I wanted to turn out more pink, but it's okay. I'm probably not going to rate this or rate this 5 stars, even though it's not like 5 stars to me. I just feel like for memoirs and things like that, how much she went through as a child and with her family, I don't feel like it is my place to rate that on a scale. I'm going to give you a full review at the end. Book number 2 is done. We're going to move on to book number 3, which I don't know what that's gonna be, honestly. In the next 3 hours, I don't think I could finish anything. Maybe I should go with something that's on my Kindle. I'm kind of low-key deciding between these two. Lord, I look awful. It is like 1 in the morning and I finished 12 hours for the day. I started reading Barbarian's Touch by Ruby Dixon. I got to page 162, about halfway. That's all I'm gonna do for the night for right now. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday morning. I have some updates for you. I did not read another 12 hours like I told you I was gonna, clearly because I'm right here, but I have made some progress. What I've started doing, instead of doing a whole 12 hours straight, which wasn't possible for me yesterday, I am doing a stopwatch for the other 12 hours. So we're still reading for 24 hours. A little bit of a change of plan. Last night, I read another 2 hours, got to the extended epilogue. This morning, I read another 30 minutes and finished the extended epilogue. But again, we're doing ratings at the end. I did finish this. Started Killer Instinct this morning by Jennifer Lynn Barnes because the audiobook of this came in for me. I thought I would start it while I do some chores today as my audiobook. I can definitely 100% finish this in the 9 hours. I just don't know if we're going to have time to start another book after this one. Killer Instinct, here we go. Let's read. We are on hour 18, I believe, of the readathon, and I finished Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It was super fun, and I really want to read the next one, but I don't own it, so I will have to wait. That means we've read 4 books, I think, in the readathon so far, and we're gonna start on a 5th one. I think my 5th book is gonna be How Does It Feel? This I can read on my Kindle, which is the appeal for me right now. My other book that I'm kind of like eyeing is The Nature of Disappearing by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. I kind of want to start this because it looks like it would go really fast. I guess we'll see, or I'm just taking up time. I'm gonna try and finish the readathon tonight. We only have like 5 hours left, so it's very plausible I could finish tonight or tomorrow morning. I will keep you updated with which book I decide to read, if it's one of these two, and I guess also if it's not. You're on hour 9 of this half of the readathon, so that means you have 3 more hours. This bookmark might be deceiving, but I did not start How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. I actually started something on my Kindle that I showed you last night because I saw a TikTok and I wanted to start it so bad. So I did. I am 205 pages in, 85% of the way through. I'm reading Morning Glory Milking Farm. Basically what I saw was a TikTok of this girl being like, before I read this, and then after I read this, and I was like, well, I want to know what she's reading. Like, I want to know. And it's a shorter, it's like a novella length kind of book. And the writing is actually pretty good. Now I'm 200 pages into it, and I'm probably going to finish it within the next 3 hours. This is a
horrid angle. I finished Morning Milk Farm or whatever, and metaphorically speaking, we have another, not metaphorically, literally speaking, we have another book that we can put on the shelf, but I don't have it physically at the moment, so we finished 5 books so far. I have an hour and a half left.
I was waiting till the sky was falling, held my breath till every single star had a light on my mind.
I finished my readathon this morning. That is crazy. The first 12-hour day I did on May 5th, and now it's May 9th. There was a few days in between that I didn't read anything at all, and then there was a few days in between that I read like a large amount. We've been chugging our way through this for about 4 days. I wanted to go over all the books that I read with you and tell you my thoughts because we haven't done that yet. The first book I started with was Butcher and Blackbird. I love this book. This took me about 6 hours to read. I rated this a 5-star. This was so good. I loved this book. I loved the dark humor. It made me laugh. When it says a dark rom-com, it is true. There's a lot of dark subject matter because it is about 2 serial killers who kill serial killers. At the same time, there's a lot of levity and jokes and humor that make you laugh and make you love the characters. Never was I mad at them for doing the bad things that they did. I'm in love with Rowan Kane. He is everything. He is so cute. I love his little Irish accent. The next book I finished during the readathon was The Woman in Me. I finished that on the same day. I finished this in about 2.5-3 hours. I rated this officially a 5 stars on Goodreads because I will always support the writer of a memoir if it is a memoir because it's their story, and how can I criticize their life and how they feel they should tell a story about their life. That's like how I've decided I'm gonna do it. It doesn't give me the 5-star feeling. So is it actually a 5-star book? Will I think about this forever? No. If I was rating on enjoyment, it would probably be a 3. I wrote in my comments, seems like she might need more therapy. I would recommend it if you're really interested in Britney Spears' career. If you're not, then it might not be worth the read. Third book of the readathon was Barbarian's Touch. I got like halfway through this within the first 12-hour period that I read. I ended up rating this a 3.5 stars. If you're going in expecting an amazing plot, amazing characters fully fleshed out, like that's not what you're gonna get. You have to go into books like this and like know what you're looking for. I'm looking for a good time. I'm looking for a giggle. I'm looking for something that's gonna keep my attention but doesn't require a lot of brain power. And so Barbarian's Touch by Ruby Dixon, that was that book. This is about Rokon and Lila, and I really liked their relationship. They found fruit in this book, in case you're interested. That is something I had considered in the previous books. If I was stuck on this ice planet myself, how would I be able to survive without fruit? Don't worry guys, they found fruit in this book. They can have fruit on this planet. They're no longer vitamin D deficient, in case you were worried about it, because I was. We can move on to the 4th book I started and finished during the readathon. This is Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is another one that I read on audio. I think I finished this in like 4-ish hours. I really enjoyed this story. This is the 2nd book in the Natural series, which is about teens solving FBI cases. It's super fun, super fast paced. I rated this a 4 stars. This one focused more on Dean. We got a little bit of an answer to the love triangle on this one, which was pretty fun, and I liked following along with the case and trying to figure it out as I went. Figured out some stuff, didn't figure out other things, so it was a good little mix of surprised and gratified because I figured it out. Next book I read this one in like 5-ish hours, I think. I don't have the physical copy because I read it on my Kindle. I read Morning Glory Milking Farm. So I started reading it in one sitting, got like 80% of the way through the book. It's a 200-page book, so I just sat down and binged like 200 pages of it because I was like attached. I ended up rating this a 3 stars. My notes were, why is it kind of eating as a slow burn? Based on this cover, you're thinking like, oh, maybe insta love. It may be like kind of cheesy. It might be kind of like weird. It was weird, but it was not insta love. It was actually a fairly good slow burn. And the writing was done well. If you know like the stereotypical Wattpad writing, it was better than that. And it kind of made you relate to the characters because they had some like issues going on, issues with their parents, issues with, it's an interspecies relationship because, you know, a minotaur and a human. Some very realistic problems were kind of the main plot of the book, and I really enjoyed that. It made me relate to the characters. If you're looking for a vibe check of this book, like if you're like, Reagan, what in the hell did you just read? It is Halloween Town mixed with Gilmore Girls. Let me explain. The Gilmore Girls small town vibe where they had like a little downtown with coffee shops and it was cute, like very close knit. That was the Gilmore Girls part, but then Halloween Town because everyone walking around around is like a different species. We have animals, we have vampires, we have paranormal creatures, we have all different kinds of things going on. So like Halloween Town mixed with Gilmore Girls is exactly how I would describe this book, and it low-key ate. And then the next book and final book that I started during this readathon is The Trouble with Hating You by Sanjay Patel. I got 56 pages into this book before my timer went off. Really liking it so far. I obviously can't give you complete thoughts because I haven't finished it yet. We had a pretty successful readathon. 5 and a 6th of a book is pretty good for 24 hours, I'd say. I'm averaging a 4.8 hours per book. It was really fun. I had a great time. Let me know if you want to see another one of these readathons. Leah, if you're watching this, come here now. We need to have a 24-hour readathon. It's not funny, but I actually want to try and like stay up for 24 hours. This week just wasn't feasible because I was starting a job. Just lots and lots of stuff going on that I couldn't be sleep deprived for. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Goodreads and Instagram if you want to be friends on there. Comment. I love talking to you guys and you make my day. I love you. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.